Hi guys and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be talking about some of the Sunderland transfer rumours, and we'll go through a few players that we have been linked with and maybe a couple of players that I'd just like to see us sign as well. Some are unrealistic, some are just already linked to us, so I'm going to chuck them in there as well. Just a relatively small list. If there's anyone who isn't on the list who you think we should go for, be sure to leave that in the comments below. Remember that this is just my opinion as well, so I might just leave out a few players that you might like but I may not. But anyway, let's get on with it. And the first player on the list is Stockley. The 6'3" striker is currently plying his trade at Exeter, where he's already managed to notch 15 league goals so far this season. Last season he got himself 20 goals as well, so he's definitely got a decent record there, but it is in League 2. Whether he will be able to step up in League 1 is another matter. He has spent several loan spells throughout his career. He's been at the likes of Bournemouth, he's been at Portsmouth, Aberdeen. He's been here, there and everywhere trying to find himself a home. And he does seem to be relatively settled and doing very well at Exeter. Would he be able to pull it off at Sunderland? That remains to be seen. But he is a big bulky striker and he's not bad with his feet either. Of course, at the minute we've got the likes of Charlie Wyke, who we haven't seen too much of. But to me, from what I've seen with Charlie Wyke, he seems like someone who is going to cause chaos in the box. Very physical player. He doesn't look incredible with his feet. Maybe that could be someone who would complement him if the likes of Josh Maja does leave. As I'm recording this, I don't know whether Maja is or isn't signing a contract. So, would that be a good option? Potentially, yes. Now, next on the list is another striker, and it's another big one as well. 6'5" Kiefer Moore of Barnsley, who we've played already this season, and he was an absolute nightmare to deal with. Of course, we managed to beat Barnsley by 4-2, but he was an absolute thorn in our side from start to finish, and he was a nightmare to play against. So, another big player, another tall player. I'm sure you're gathering a bit of a feel for the kind of player that I am looking at in the striking department. I do like my big players. I'm sure if you do follow me on the FIFA series, I do like a tall player. I like a physical player. So I think Kiefer Moore would definitely fit the bill. He's got himself 11 goals so far this season. So I think for League 1, even if it is just on a short-term contract, I think that will be a class signing up top, again, if Josh Maja is to leave. I do think that we do need some reinforcements up top anyway, and I think Kiefer Moore would fit the bill absolutely perfectly. He would be my preferred striker choice. But whether he would leave Barnsley, being that they're doing so well already this season, that remains to be seen, and it's probably a little bit unrealistic. And next up on the list, it's another striker, and it's another beast. It's 6'5" Gillingham striker Tom Eaves, who's already got himself 14 goals so far this season. He scored 17 last season, all in League 1, so it's a proven goal scorer. And, of course, it's another beast. He did score against us when we did play them. We did beat them by 4-1. But he, again, it was another big player who just absolutely... It was another nightmare for our defenders. He's fantastic in the air. And he's not, again, it's another one that isn't too bad with his feet either. And to score that amount of goals for a team like Gillingham, with no disrespect to them, that's definitely a player in itself. So I think that would probably be the most realistic of signings out of the strikers that I have mentioned, and I would be more than happy to see him in a red and white shirt. And next on the list is someone who was actually on my original list before the season started, and that is Madison. Now, as I've recorded this video, he has recently posted an Instagram post with a caption saying that he has some big news coming soon. That could quite easily mean that he's going to be signing a new contract with Peterborough, but it could also mean that he could be on his way or looking for a January move. And if he comes to Sunderland, that would be absolutely mad. He is a Sunderland fan. I think previously we did think he was a Newcastle fan. He has played for Newcastle in terms of he come through the Newcastle Academy. But apparently he's a Sunderland fan, which would be absolutely amazing if he was to come to us. He is playing for Peterborough, another team that are going for promotion. So I'd be very surprised if they did let go of one of their star assets at this point in the season. I'd be incredibly surprised, but if he did, it would be a fantastic signing. He can play as a sort of attacking midfielder on the left or the right. He's got pace about him, and again, he could be an absolute nightmare for opposition defences. So if he was to come to us, that would be an absolutely top-class signing. Now, next on the list is more so just a young player that really impressed me when we played them, and that was Coventry midfielder Tom Bayliss. He looked absolutely fantastic when we did play them at the Rico. He did eventually finish 1-1 that game, but he's only 20 years of age, 6-foot lad, and for a young lad, he's very physical. And he's also very, very good on the ball. In close quarters, when he's got players charging him down, he's very good at keeping hold of the ball. He's got a bit of skill about him. His dribbling skills are fantastic. and he can pick out a pass as well, I think that would be an absolutely incredible signing. Probably a little bit unrealistic, don't get me wrong, but I think if the offer was there, I think he would more than likely come, because I think coming up to a team that are definitely going for promotion, Coventry aren't quite there, but he's definitely been a shining light in Coventry's season, and I'd love to see him at Sunderland. Now, in terms of defensive reinforcements, which I think is probably our biggest place in which we need to recruit in this transfer window, whether we will, again, it remains to be seen. But one player who I would like to see come to the Stadium Light is Blackpool defender Curtis Tilt. Curtis Tilt, it might be a little bit of a risk because he has had his injury problems here and there, but when he is on the pitch, he's a leader, he's a brick shithouse, and I think he really would solidify our defence. And again, whether that will be a realistic one, you never know. I don't know what we're going to be aiming for. Will we be trying to pull players out of the Championship to come back, or will we be getting players that are suited to League One and get them on short-term contracts, which probably would be my sort of strategy if I was in charge of the club, because we're not exactly bang on the top, we're not running away with this league, we still need to claw our way back up to the top. So I think for the second half of the season, if we did bring in a couple of players who are League One veterans or at least experienced in the lower leagues and we know they can do a job, I think that is the route that I would go down. So I think that Curtis Tilt would be ideal in our defence. Now to a player that has been strongly linked with us over the last couple of days, and that is defender Jack Hendry from Celtic. Would I like him? I'm not too sure. He's fell out of favour at Celtic massively. He's fell down the ranks a little bit. Only 23 years of age, 6 foot. He does have a little bit of physical presence about him. He's decent with his feet, but I don't think that's exactly what we need right now. I think Baldwin and Flanagan, when they are on form, they aren't too bad with the feet. I think it's only recently they haven't been great in showing the aspects of their play, of their style. But if we did bring him, I won't complain. But I don't think that's necessarily what we need in our defensive ranks. I think that we do need a brick shithouse, really, who isn't exactly Glenn Loovens. Now, the last player on the list is an incredibly unrealistic long shot, but he has been touted about here, there and everywhere, and I couldn't make this video without mentioning him, and that is, of course, Jermain Defoe. Defoe hasn't been getting a game at Bournemouth. I think that a massive stumbling block, if we were to try and get him at the Stadium Light, it will be his wages. Whether he would take a big pay cut, I don't know, but I'm not too sure how it would work. Of course, I'd love to see him, even if it's just for 6 months or a loan till the end of the season. It would be an absolutely incredible signing, at least to sort of calm the storm whilst Madger is more than likely going to leave, in my opinion. So it would be an incredible signing. Is it unrealistic? Definitely. There has been a few rumours around Twitter and social media that Stuart Donald does like the idea of bringing him back. But again, I think financially that would more than likely be the biggest hurdle. But of course, I'd take Defoe back in a heartbeat. So that will be the end of the video, guys. Of course, there's only a few there. Some have been linked with, some I would like. So who would you like to see come to the Stadium Light? Will it be players from the Championship who aren't necessarily getting a game, or in the Premier League? Would it be lower league players? What kind of position would you like to see us reinforce? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you have enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for me. It would be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jammy.